Hey, I'm Ben Silverio.
I'm Tabitha Burch.
I'm Warwick Johnson.
And I'm Ansel Burch.
And it's
Time to party.
We are not doctors. We don't give medical advice. Please drink responsibly. This episode was recorded on May 30th, 2024.
To me, my party people. Yes.
Well played. Yep, good.
Welcome back to Time to Party, where everything's made up. The points don't matter. But for the record, Tabitha's winning.
Aw.
We would like to welcome our very special guests this month, Tabitha Burch and Warwick Johnson.
Hi, everybody.
Not only are they amazing people, but they are experts in the field of X-Men.
Experts, yeah.
Yeah. Is that two X's? Experts?
One
Not
more,
three.
and that's over 18.
Yeah, that's a whole different website.
That's a whole
That's
different website.
Time
Yeah.
to party after dark.
Ooh. It's just elaborate lighting effects on Ansel's beard while we stroke it.
Yep.
Beard
Depending on
stroking
the
ASMR.
the length of his beard, yeah.
Somebody's into that, I bet.
Oh, I'm sure.
Ansel, we need to start the Time to Party Patreon and have that be one of the tiers.
There we go.
Oh, God.
If you're just
Can a
joining
wife
us,
object?
yeah, I think there are vows that say you can.
Okay.
We at least have to talk about it. I
Yeah,
believe.
we should have a conversation about it.
If you're just joining us, we are talking about X-Men 97 this month, the incredible Marvel animation, Marvel Studios, Marvel Cinematic Universe. They keep changing the labels. But yeah, Marvel did it, and it's amazing. And so...
And we're not talking about X-Men 97, the issue where Sauron fights them in Antarctica, because, that's not at all what
Not
I
that
prepared for.
No, not that
one.
So, party people, we are doing things on Time to Party a little differently this month. Normally, this episode would be the review, right? Oh, wait, no. The review is still going to be...
This
where
would be
it comes.
edutainment.
Yes. Normally, this is where you would get your edutainment. But for our very special episodes on X-Men 97, we just want to nerd out a lot. So...
Yeah.
School's out, right? Summer vacation and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
throw out the textbooks and everything for now. So we're just going to, pick up the comics and talk about stuff. First, Tabitha,
Yes.
you send me incredible X-Men memes all the time.
That's kind of one of my superpowers.
What are some of your favorite X-Men 97 memes?
Oh, I love the one with Wolverine holding the picture of Gambit in the cutoff T-shirt.
Yes.
That one's so
That's what I was going to say.
Yes, so good. The ones with Xavier and Magneto like looking longingly at each other. Any of those. It's like just kiss. You want to.
Man.
I have
X-Men's
to-
always been really gay, and if you
Yes.
didn't know that, you weren't paying attention.
You weren't paying attention. They were friends. Friends.
Oh, they were just roommates,
Yeah.
They were
But I
they
think
were
those
mutant revolutionaries together.
those are my top two memes.
I'm just picturing now Xavier and Magneto in RRR, just becoming best friends.
Oh, yeah.
But they were
Honestly,
going to fuck.
The original, so when Legion goes back in time and accidentally kills his dad, is when we see them first become best friends, and it is honestly almost exactly like an RRR scene, because it's Xavier and Magneto getting into a bar fight together, and that's how they become best friends. And I'm just like, yes, perfect. It's excellent.
Now, Warwick, you brought up in the last episode some awesome cameos in X-Men 97.
Yeah.
Who were some of your favorite cameos?
Spider-Man from the animated
Mhm.
series, mostly because Mary Jane was with him at one point,
Yes.
and that means that he saved her. So big fan of that.
Yeah.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that.
Iron Man in the 90s Iron Man armor
That
was
So
goofy ass
good.
armor.
That,
Hell yeah.
yeah,
It's
I'm
canon
like,
to
well,
the
I missed that.
cartoon.
Yep. And then he's not in the show technically, but Morph changes into the Hulk, and so that was also very fun. I honestly, I love the X characters cameos like Psylocke, Magic, Colossus,
Mm-hmm.
but you expect them, right, in the X-Men cartoon. Like in the original animated series, there were always mutant cameos, but there
Yes.
weren't really other heroes that showed up very much.
Yeah.
So that's I think why those are my favorite cameos.
You mentioned my favorites, but one that I really want to highlight is the Black Panther because
that was one of my favorites.
it was T'Chaka, not T'Challa,
Mhm.
which I
Yeah.
think is very interesting because then that sets up maybe so that T'Challa and Storm are the same age now or closer in age so that
Yeah.
that storyline from the comics can play out in a later season of this show.
Oh,
That's true.
interesting. I hadn't thought
And
about
I
that.
think that that's correct. I've seen some speculation online that said that they didn't have T'Challa because they don't want to have anyone else play that character out of respect for Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
I don't know that I agree with that. I think that Ben is right. I think that it's setting up T'Challa to be an important character later on.
Yeah. Although I will say, I thought it was really interesting that we got to see T'Chaka out in public as the Black Panther, because in the MCU timeline, all of that was like super secretive. We didn't know that we didn't know about Wakanda. And since this is hypothetically in the same universe, or a similar universe, that sets up a pretty big divergence for that character.
Well, and I don't know that there is enough evidence, but I'd be curious to see where the Fantastic Four comic lives in this animated 90s animated continuity, right? So we see the Iron Man from his show, and that show I think did cross over with Hulk.
Yeah.
But I don't know that it crossed over with Fantastic Four. So I think that one was always kind of its own weird island.
But didn't Morph transform into Mr. Fantastic at one point?
He did.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So
which
like
just means that it's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not explicitly that Mr. Fantastic. I guess it could be another, universe, multiverse, all that stuff. But it does seem like all those 90s cartoons are now incorporated into this, almost in the same way that all the Disney afternoon shows were put into DuckTales, the most recent one, which I highly recommend.
Yeah.
I haven't watched
Darkwing
those
Duck.
yet, so
Yeah, we haven't seen it yet.
mean,
Darkwing Duck and DuckTales were in the same universe
They
from
were.
the get-go, though.
Oh,
So,
always.
That's true.
yeah,
Yes.
that makes it.
But
that's
the
true,
way that the new one reimagines Darkwing Duck, where the original Darkwing Duck turns into Negaduck, basically, it's so funny because it's like trying to do like a Dark Knight Returns type thing. Anyway,
okay.
we're not talking about
nice.
DuckTales. We could be talking about
Could
DuckTales.
be.
That's a whole other thing.
I was surprised by Cloak and Dagger having a cameo.
Yes.
In there.
Oh yeah.
So
in the
it was like,
flesh too.
yeah. And I enjoyed Silver Samurai. I knew Ansel didn't have no idea who that was,
Mhm.
but seeing Silver, he's like, "Who is that?" I'm like, "That's Silver Samurai." Duh.
Yeah, she said
Man,
as though that
Yoshida?
helped
Come
me.
on, man.
If I don't recognize him,
But yeah, I that was seeing Cloak and Dagger was an unexpected cameo.
I need them to be part of the MCU more because I feel it's a very unpopular opinion, but I liked their show and I liked it when they crossed over with Runaways. I thought they were very good. But that section of the MCU no one ever talks about because it was on ABC Family and Hulu. So
I believe you mean Freeform.
Oh,
right?
Freeform. I'm sorry. That's where it was. Yes.
Seeing the in Magneto's like dream mind palace time where he saw like the silhouettes of Wanda and Petro and Polaris
Mhm. Yep.
on that ship. So look, those are your kids. Because isn't it like at first he wasn't Polaris's father, but then it turned out that he ended up, yes, that is actually her dad or something like that.
Did they address that in the original series?
I don't know that they've addressed it in the show.
Not in the show, but like she was
in the comics.
In the comics.
Weirdly, she's the only one that is his biological kid right now, I think, in the comics, because they retcon Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch.
Although they were on the ship.
Yeah. I don't buy it that they're definitely his kids.
Oh yeah, they're his kids.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if we're gonna get more of that somehow. Although we saw an older version of her, of Polaris.
Yeah, but we've also seen glimpses of X Factor on boards and in some of the other shots. So I'm thinking next season we're probably going to get X Factor, which would be sweet. I mean,
they did also smoke a lot of the like classic Magneto stuff. So I wonder if they're going to bring in more of the Magneto's legacy characters, like Pietro and Wanda, to sort of give us a new angle on Magneto's choices.
Yeah. Well, I mean, then if they do, I'm wondering if they're going to do Joseph at all in the show, which I don't. You know, that is maybe they're going to have him start acting more like Joseph, and then he discovers that he's been mentally whammied by Xavier. I don't know.
All right, let's pretend for a second that I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, sure. So in the 90s, when Magneto ripped the skeleton out of Wolverine, or he ripped the adamantium off of the skeleton. Yeah, right. Wolverine still had his skeleton. After that, Xavier wiped Magneto's mind. And then the Asteroid M crashed, and they found, down the line, they found an amnesiac Magneto that they thought it was Magneto, but he was a good guy now, and he was real nice and friendly, and he had all of his powers and stuff. And so then he started going by Joseph because he didn't remember who he was. Well, it turned out later that wasn't actually Magneto, that was a clone of Magneto who was hanging out with the X-Men and had an X-Men costume and was like flirty with Rogue. And then the real Magneto came back and they had to fight.
Gotcha. And this was the same period where there was another version of Magneto living in Charles's head.
Yes.
Well,
which created
Onslaught.
Onslaught, yeah.
Yeah. Which I think we're going to get in season 2.
Yeah.
That's my big. Yep. Comics.
Isn't it
especially
wild
X-Men comics?
Yeah. Isn't it wild how much of these classic comic storylines have been adapted into X-Men 97 already? Like, I did not expect any of it.
Yeah,
we got firmly into the Morrison run, which I didn't think we were gonna do almost at all. But yeah. I loved that. I love the fact that it brought in a ton of different stories.
And it's
is
like
there one? Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that it's they're including so many different storylines that it's accessible to any X-Men fan. Because it's like, if you have a newer X-Men fan, you may not be familiar with this storyline, but then this other storyline you might know really well. And they're somehow just folding the mythology on top of each other to make them all happen at the same time.
Yeah, like
which I think is very interesting.
The whole Bastion thing, I'm not familiar with that because that's after I stopped collecting, and I haven't really... I'm not caught up on, like, after, I'd say, the 2000s or whatever, 2010s. Like, I know a little bit just by, reading it online type of thing, but having that story along with having, Madeline Pryor, Goblin Queen, story at the same time is just really good.
I liked that they distilled Inferno, which is a 20-part comic series.
So many
Inferno's
parts.
So
long.
So much.
And they did it in one episode, and I was like, this is perfect. Like, this is the right amount of time to do the story. And, you don't
saved me a whole lot of time just now.
Yeah.
It's like the
I love
anti
that.
Dragon Ball Z. Like Dragon Ball Z took forever to build the spirit bomb, like over 3 months maybe, of Goku just holding that shit.
But like you know, in the last couple episodes, they do basically X-Men number 1 through 3 with
Mhm.
Magneto. They also do X-Men 25 where he rips Wolverine's skeleton out. I mean, they combined a lot of stories together in a really smart, interesting way. You know, because you don't necessarily need to have those be separate Magneto stories. They can just be all part of the same one. You know, Magneto's plot's the same and everything, you know. And so I think that the way they did those was really interesting and accessible. And honestly, it helped because I wasn't even thinking, oh yeah, well he's gonna rip Wolverine's bones out. They were separate stories in the comics, and so I think that really worked really well.
When they were on the asteroid, I'm like, they're gonna do the adamantium thing. Like when he created the asteroid, and then the X-Men, like half of the X-Men went there to go get him, to say, hey, can you fix stuff? I'm like, yeah, no, they're totally that they are gonna go that route. They are totally gonna rip his adamantium.
Shouldn't have been macking on Cyclops' wife. Otherwise, he
Right.
would have been sent off against the people that don't control metal.
That's also a good meme. I've seen that one as well. But I just, since it's like a Disney thing, you know, it's on Disney Plus and it's, you know, more family friendly. I didn't think we'd actually get to ripping the adamantium off of Wolverine's bones, but like that moment was just like oh shit, this is not what we thought. But it's still awesome.
And hinting at like having kind of an affair with Madeline Pryor. Scott likes to do that, you know. With you know, just look in the comics. It's with Emma Frost. He has this mind affair with her. You know, he's having this mind affair with Madeline. Granted, they're married, but he didn't know
when
that
your
was
kink
Madeline.
is brain stuff.
Right.
You can only find so many women.
Yeah, he likes telepaths, man.
He has a type.
Yeah,
he's got a type.
Although Madeline didn't have any psychic powers in the comics at all. She was just
a straight up clone.
Yeah, just a clone without any powers.
And it's not quite a storyline, but I loved how many iconic costumes we got this season.
Yes.
Oh yes.
I'm not crazy about some of the 80s ones, but man, seeing them in the show though, I was like, all right, I'm on board with this. This is cool. You know, especially when they were going up to fight Magneto and to go off against the Sentinels, you know, and Cable in his X-Men costume.
Yes.
Like, that was super fun.
Someone pointed out on social media that the mannequins that were housing the old costumes all had wigs. So does that mean that the other X-Men were just rocking wigs like all the time, you know?
Those were their cosplay costumes. That's so they can dress up as each other.
There you go.
I think my guess...
That's what it is.
You know, for the danger room.
Yeah, like... the danger room.
We don't know what Xavier gets up to when he's over at Muir Island by himself. So I mean, there could be another more nefarious reason why they have wigs on.
Just Xavier like snick in like Wolverine's costume. I did want to say that one of my favorite costume changes was Jubilee showing up in the Generation X costume.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, yes, I wasn't expecting to see that. And I'm just like, fuck yeah.
Well, it's nice because it shows she's more mature because she's not in that, you know, those jeans and, you know, shorts and t-shirt that she wears with her yellow coat. So it's nice to see. It's like, okay, yes, she is older. She's using her powers starting to because of the whole mojo thing. Like she knows she's capable of using her powers in a different way, more powerful way. I wonder if they're going to make her a vampire.
I don't know if they'll go that far.
That's just wild.
Like, I don't know if we'll get to Vampire Baby Jubilee, but
my God.
What happens to that baby, by the way?
Shogo?
I don't know.
He's a dragon in Otherworld, I think. I don't know if he's still there or not. But...
What a sentence that just was.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not going to explain it either.
The X-Men, man.
That's just what happens in X-Men.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he went to this weird British alternate reality that has been around since the 80s that no one likes, but we get it in stories all the time. And he's a dragon. And
Yep.
that's just how it goes.
That's wild.
But this all makes perfect sense.
I mean,
Yeah, why not? Why wouldn't it?
where's
so
Widget? Widget will take
I
you
think
there.
Merlin had something to do with it, and that's
Probably.
not. I'm not joking. I think that's actually what the story was.
And that's-
So-
it's
that
a
seems-
real thing.
That seems
If
Yeah.
you're
right.
gonna go to England, Merlin's gonna get his shit in it. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, the
He's
whole
getting
Excalibur going to alternate universes with Widget, that whole
Oh, yeah.
story arc. I enjoy that story arc.
Merlin is
Speaking
Mr.
of
Get
story
My Shit
arcs, do you have a bucket list story arc that you hope that they cover?
in.
Ooh. I mean, they've already done Phoenix Saga, the Dark Phoenix Saga, which is, to me, one of the best, if not the best, story arc. Don't know.
Mine is going to be a little out of left field a bit. Well, it's probably not that out of left field because it is a kind of a beloved one. But the Joss Whedon's first two arcs, which is the Mutant Cure, and the Danger Room. Specifically, I want the Danger Room one because I love Danger as a character, and I think that could be really fun in the
Yeah, I
cartoon.
forgot about She's Sentient.
Yeah,
I really
you don't
want
have to do Break World.
I don't know how they would do it, but I'm sure it could be just like a one-off episode. Even though it's like a huge storyline, but like House of M could be the finale,
Yeah.
you know? Because in season 2 there's got to be a lot with Magneto going on, right? And Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver have to show up at some point. I mean, they're on the board at the end, right? So
We've seen them. They're there now.
exactly. So
Well,
I mean,
we'll have to figure out
no
how to get
take-backsies.
everybody back from the past and from the future.
yes.
'Cause
And I think that would be the majority of like the first half of the
Yeah.
of the next season, probably. But
yeah, well, because we're gonna get Adventures of Cyclops and Phoenix, right? For that's going on with Jean and Cyclops, and then the
Rogue and
Apocalypse
Nightcrawler.
one. Yeah, Rogue and Nightcrawler hanging out. Wait, where are Rogue and Nightcrawler? They're in the future?
they're in Egypt.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they're in Egypt. Okay,
they're in
got it.
Egypt with
With
Xavier
Xavier and
and Magneto.
Yes. And they
What's
find
left of Magneto.
Apocalypse.
Yeah. So they'll do. I think it was Apocalypse Origins or something like that. There was like a mini series in the '90s that Adam Pollina drew, and that's what Insabanur looks like. So we're probably gonna get that, which is fun. That's a fun like Apocalypse story.
Yes. But then like the big thing is what's going on in the present
Yeah.
that they were teasing with older Apocalypse.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
Gambit was death in what was that, Blood of Apocalypse, which was fine. So hopefully they do maybe a different Apocalypse story instead, you know?
'Cause
Although
who-
Inferno wasn't the greatest story arc, but they
That's
I mean, if
and neither was Operation Zero Tolerance. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
they improved it, so
Remind me who else was the Horseman of Apocalypse, because there were a few different ones.
Warren
It's-
was
it's quicker to say who hasn't been a Horseman of Apocalypse.
I mean, that's
because
true. Yes.
a lot of them have been. So Gambit, Wolverine, and Archangel have all been death.
Yes.
Polaris was one of the Horsemen as well during the story where Gambit was a Horseman. Caliban also was death. I love Caliban though, so if he shows up, I'll be very excited. Because he showed up briefly in the final season. As, as mutated Caliban.
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Oh.
Who are some of the other ones? that have been horsemen that could show up. Well, I'm wondering if we get some more people that were on Genosha that could show up as
Could
horsemen.
show up as
that-
his horseman.
yeah.
Leech.
No, Leech.
What a shot to the heart that would be if that ends up happening.
Oh no.
Leech's pestilence for sure.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, Leech's pestilence. Oh, that would be so bad, but
So bad.
so good.
Into it. I'm into it.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think who the horseman would be for this version of the story, and obviously Gambit is one, but like,
Yeah.
who the rest of them could be? It could be any number of people.
Yeah, it really, I mean, it really could be that they could bring in for it, or even have like new characters, right? Like, I think they've done the original Four Horsemen, the one from when Apocalypse first showed up at X Factor. But I think everybody else is pretty much fair game, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be interesting.
In X-Men 97, we pick up a lot of threads from X-Men the Animated Series. I think Bo DeMaio did a really good job of like telling the audience of like, hey, here's your homework if you want to do some more research on what this next episode is going to be. And like, you know, tying Bastion back to that waitress and like all these other little things that they moved seamlessly from the original to this one. Are there any other threads that you could think of from the original animated series that you'd like to pick back up on? I mean, Colossus is a big one that comes back to me. Like,
yeah, Colossus.
I want to catch up with him, but like otherwise, we got Nightcrawler back, so I'm pretty happy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So we don't know where Mystique is. We haven't seen her. Sabretooth, Juggernaut. I mean, there are quite a few big villains, I think, that are kind of still out there.
Yeah.
That's true.
They clearly weren't on Genosha.
Yeah. So that would be interesting to see.
Yeah, because the only member of the Brotherhood that we see is Blob, right?
But wasn't that
yes.
Morph being Blob though, or was
that was
actually...
Morph being Blob.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we
yeah,
don't
I
see
think
any
we
of the
saw any of
Brotherhood.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
That hadn't occurred to me, but yeah, you're right.
I'm curious if they're going to have, because obviously they have alternate universe Rachel Summers in it with Scott and Jean. I'm wondering if they're going to have the other version of Rachel Summers, who was the Hound, who came and had the powers of the Phoenix and was part of Excalibur for a while. In next season, if they're there's the alternate version of her, if they're going to have another version of her somehow with what they're planning to do now, because obviously they hinted at that comic, with everybody missing, presumed dead, so I wonder if they're going to have the Hounds somehow in it, or a version of that.
With all this timey-wiminess going on, do you think they'll get so far as Hope? Because the Summers family is so much a part of this,
Yeah.
So...
But to do Hope, you gotta do Decimation first, right? You gotta do House of M, Decimation.
We have a lot to go before then.
Yeah, I love Hope, but I'm wondering, I mean, that could be like a season 3 is dealing with the after effects of House of M, like that kind of thing. Or you just fold it into Onslaught, right? Say Onslaught is the big bad in 2, and because of him, mutants are wiped out in the same kind of way. And then, I don't know. But I love Hope, and I think that she's a great character. I just think that she more than anybody else really relies on the story around her, if that makes sense.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I think it could be fun to do like a decimation in the cartoon for half of a season or most of a season or whatever.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Especially since we've got them all split off. You totally have the space to do that.
Yeah.
Yep. The thing that I want to know is, when is Darwin going to show up? How have we not gotten Darwin yet? Right?
We do need justice for Darwin on a whole because of
Justice for Darwin.
Because of that fucking movie.
Oh my god, it's so bad. But no, there's no Vulcan, there's no Maggot. We have yet to see Marrow. I mean, why are we wasting our time, right? With X-Men 97, like, get to it, guys. Get the heavy hitters.
We did see Blink briefly.
Yes.
We did, yeah. Everybody loves Blink.
I mean, she's very cute.
How can we fold X-Men Evolution into this also? Can we?
Oh.
I feel like it's all fair game.
Don't know that I ever saw X-Men Evolution. This is my dark secret.
Oh, man.
I've never seen any of it. I know.
How did I not know this? I love X-Men Evolution.
Something about it, I was just like, well, the ages are all messed up. I don't know if I want to watch this.
I mean, I watch it because I like the animation in Evolution is real. I love the way the characters are drawn in Evolution. So,
and Nightcrawler
Spike.
being a goofy kid.
Yeah, makes perfect sense.
With his camouflage watch.
Oh God.
Mystique is their principal and mother.
Crazy.
Scarlet Witch is a mall goth.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, that's of course.
It makes
Perfectly
sense.
normal.
Yeah.
But the one, because comics, exactly. But the one making all the decisions, in television is the showrunner. And for X-Men 97, Bo DeMaio has been outed as the showrunner. As far as we know, he finished
Ousted,
work
I think,
on
is the
season
way.
2. I'm sorry, what did I say?
You said outed. And that
ousted. That's what I meant.
Oh,
I
was
did
gonna
mean
say,
ousted.
I
Okay.
thought we knew the whole time. I didn't realize it was so fresh.
So, Bo DeMaio was ousted as the showrunner. Words are hard, guys.
I had not
Yeah,
heard
they're
that.
very
That's
similar.
surprising.
English is a tricky language. Don't worry about it.
So, I mean, basically, my question is, are you concerned that DeMaio's no longer part of the creative team?
A little bit.
Do we know why DeMaio left?
It's still kind of in the dark. Some people were speculating that it was because of his OnlyFans, but I don't think that's what it was.
We've seen cryptic comments from writers on the show that were very happy and celebrating when it happened.
And also his
So
former co-workers posted similar things.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I don't know that we know the whole story behind it. And I think that he probably did a good job spearheading this. Obviously the show is really good. I know that's not good enough if they don't fire someone like that right before the show comes out without a good reason. And so that's why, without knowing what happened, it's hard for me to say one way or the other.
Yeah, it has to be more than he was just being a dick. There's gotta be something to it. Otherwise they wouldn't have done that. Disney is very careful,
calculated,
about some of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Especially
that's why
lately.
I'm like, I think that the show will be fine without him. I think that, so if they can keep it going with the writing staff that they have, I think that'll be in really good hands.
I like to think that Kevin Feige wouldn't put someone in charge of this project if they didn't have the same passion for it, like the same level of passion that Bo DeMaio had, because clearly he was very invested in these storylines, and that just showed from what we saw. So we would need to get that level of commitment back. I'd hope.
Plus, too, I mean, it's a relatively big hit for them, considering it's not necessarily something they're sinking a ton of money into, like a WandaVision, and it was still like the number 2 or number 3 show on Disney Plus this year. I mean, you know,
we should definitely expect to see a lot more of this based on the profit margins alone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, and this was definitely the best Marvel product that they have produced in a little bit. The
Yeah.
last few movies
Since
that they have
WandaVision,
produced
really.
have been fine. They haven't been bad, but they haven't been in Endgame. So
Yeah.
I still maintain that Miss Marvel is way better than anyone gives it credit for.
I loved it.
It
It
truly
I
was
loved
a
it.
lot of fun.
Not only was
I'll
it
say the
fun,
same
but it was
for the
informative.
Marvels.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Marvels
Oh,
was
yeah.
fun too.
Yeah.
The Marvels was a lot better than people make it sound.
Yeah.
Like that movie was really enjoyable.
Speaking of
Yeah.
the X-Men connection, that post-credit scene,
Yeah.
I saw that movie at the El Capitan in Hollywood. I was in the balcony. There was 3 other people in the balcony with me and my friend, and I freaked out when Beast showed up, and everyone looked at me, and I'm just like, "It's Beast."
Beast.
It's Kelsey.
It's Kelsey
Grammer.
Grammer as Beast.
Yeah.
And he's like, listen, Photon, we got to get this bitch some tossed salad and scrambled eggs. It's going to love that.
Biggest pop of the whole movie. Oh my god. Tangent. Did I tell y'all that did I tell y'all you bubs that I went to a taping of Frasier?
Oh,
No.
yes. Yeah, we talked about it before you went, but how was it?
It was awesome. The entire time I was waiting in line, I was just like, what if Roz is in this episode? Because Perry Gilpin just announced that she was going to be recurring in the
She's
season.
in season 2. She's
Yes.
Oh, really?
And she's in my
so good.
episode.
That's
It's like a Roz-centric episode. I was so excited. Yeah.
That's so
It's-
good.
I'm
Roz
very
is one of my
excited to see the
favorite
finish.
things.
about that show.
Yeah.
I'm curious what version of the X-Men that Kelsey Grammer is from. Is he from
Mm.
Mm.
the movie,
movies?
the movies version? Is he the cartoon version? Because we did see the cartoon version of Xavier, who died.
Mhm.
Because he had the floaty
Mhm.
chair, and
Yep.
Right.
And the
and
theme
what
song.
version is this cartoon now? Like, is this
Yeah.
its own separate, or are the characters from this, like, is this the Logan from this cartoon that's going to be in Deadpool and Wolverine?
Mm. So I think that X-Men 97 is firmly its own universe.
Hmm.
And like logically, the Beast in the Marvels is probably from a different universe because Photon wasn't in those other movies. But like,
Right.
we don't know how long time has passed since the Singer movies, right? In that
Mhm.
universe, so you never know. But it would be interesting if that Beast was still the Singer version, and it's just years later.
Yeah.
But
I'd
I
be
mean, 'cause-
fine with.
Because Beast in the cartoon made a reference to camouflage and fixed points in time
that's
in the
true.
cartoon, which is
Yeah.
what brought up in the MCU.
Hmm. Oh, speaking of camouflage, we didn't mention the goofy Doctor Strange cameo of him doing surgery with magic.
Surgery with magic because they didn't have
Wow.
electricity.
So good.
Crazy.
Fucking Stephen Strange.
But again,
He's so
the
extra,
90s
man.
version, cartoon version, that's who he was in the 90s cartoon correct outfit
That's true.
with
Yeah.
Dr. Scrubs, because
Because why not?
Yep.
See, like the one disappointing thing. Okay, not the one disappointing thing, and I guess it's not that disappointing. But if we got Doctor Strange, where was Wong? We should always have more
Right.
Wong.
always
Oh,
have
yeah.
more Wong.
Wong was too busy actually saving the day while he was
Yeah.
doing surgery. I think that's what it was.
While he's saving one person, Wong is off saving a country.
Trying to fix everything.
Yep.
God.
Wong. Justice for Wong.
Yeah, he's the Sorcerer Supreme.
So with Wolverine and Deadpool, and I am very excited about the movie. I'm really glad that it's a different Wolverine, and that it keeps Logan canon and it keeps all that. I'm very happy about that.
Same.
I'm curious if they're gonna go all the way and do Old Man Logan this time, because it seems like the Wolverine in the movie is like real ultra depressed, doesn't want to do anything. Like, it
Well,
feels
he
like
also has the same issues with his claws, that they're not coming out like in Logan.
Yeah.
You know, they wouldn't like all come out. It's like, oh, you know, because Deadpool made a funny joke about it, but
yeah,
like, is that the same Logan
yeah.
that
because
is in the
I'm-
movie Logan?
Yeah, because Loki has referenced like a lot of these universes are very, very similar, where some slight thing is off, you know, just a bit.
Right.
So if we get like a Logan that's just before the movie Logan, but in a different timeline, I feel like that would make sense. But the fact that they have established that this is a different Logan, I think, it makes it more interesting, because you don't know what you're going to get, right?
Yeah. Well,
Well, I
clearly
think it's
some
the
idea.
catastrophic thing has happened, and basically he's the only mutant that's left, which is always the case. He
Yeah,
outlives
I like
everybody.
the idea that he's the Logan who failed to save everybody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He should have made that left turn at Albuquerque.
This is what you get for wasting that beer at that bar in Canada that one time.
That's right.
That's true. And I like
should
that
know
we're
better.
finally getting the Wolverine costume.
Yes.
It's about time.
With
Took
and without
forever.
sleeves.
Correct.
Yep.
But does he put on the mask too? Like,
He's gotta have the mask.
you
on.
got to have the mask too, right?
Yeah.
I think
I
doesn't
believe
he have
we've
the
seen
I think
set
we've seen
photos
him with the mask in the trailer, haven't we?
On the popcorn buckets,
Popcorn
he
bucket.
does have the mask on.
We need to talk about the bucket. Ansel, have you seen the popcorn bucket yet?
Oh, no, that's right. Okay.
All right.
Look it up, Ansel.
Party people, Ansel has not seen this yet, and this is a
My
genuine
God.
reaction.
Yes, I'm very excited for this. There's a
Okay.
whole like commercial for it, basically.
Yep. They did a whole reveal.
Oh, there's a tongue involved. I'm getting like a slideshow version.
There it is. There
There
it
it
is.
is.
Eat your heart out,
Oh.
Dune.
I'm just now remembering that somebody said it was specifically sized so you could put a fleshlight in it.
Shut up. Oh my God.
The butter bukkake
Designed by
photo
Deadpool.
yeah.
Oh,
my
yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh my god, it's so.
It's amazing.
I
That's
want it.
goddamn genius. Oh,
The
I love
future
it.
is fuckable popcorn bucket.
Yes.
Fuckable popcorn.
True.
You know,
Those
I
dummies
don't know
at
why
Dune,
the tongue makes it so much worse, but it does.
Yep.
the tongue makes it. Like,
It
The
does.
tongue makes it.
The pink cartoon tongue.
Wow.
oh,
In the
it's
future,
so good.
everyone's hear me outs are going to be popcorn buckets. Like, you just should embrace it now.
My hall pass is a popcorn bucket.
Oh my
It's
God.
The popcorn bucket from Anyone But You, #2. Yeah.
Wait, so fuck, marry, kill, the Dune popcorn bucket, the Deadpool and Wolverine popcorn bucket, or the classic red and white
The
popcorn?
regular.
Yeah. The OG popcorn buckets.
I mean, that one's got longevity. It's going to take care of you. You gotta marry the.
Yep.
Yeah. Kill the Dune one.
Yeah, you got
Marry the red and white one, and fuck the Wolverine one.
Yeah.
I
that's
agree
the
with that.
only-
I'll go with that.
Because
The
the
only
red
right
and white
answer.
one, you can cut the hole in the bottom of it
Yeah.
and get
Oh,
a little
yeah.
the
Keep it
hot
discreet.
buttered hand job as we
Yeah.
know as they're calling
Hot buttered hand job.
You heard it here
the
first,
Bobert,
folks.
if you will.
it. Yep.
Oh my God.
That's a little snippet for the episode.
I love it. That's the social media clip. That's
Yes.
I'm sure Ryan Reynolds would
excited.
approve.
Yeah, we just send it to Ryan Reynolds, get him to sponsor the podcast. He's got money. He's just throwing it around.
In fact, just send it to Rob McElhenney, and he'll do it to out of spite of Ryan Reynolds.
One thing about Wolverine and Deadpool, I'm excited about two things specifically. Cassandra Nova showing up because this is the movie that you can put her in. I don't think you can put her in any normal X-Men movie, so I'm excited about that. And then all of the old villains coming back. We know Pyro's in it. I'm
Toad is in it.
But positive that Sabretooth is going to be in it. Like old ass Tyler Mane Sabretooth is going to be in it.
Do you think they got Vinnie Jones?
Liev Schreiber, so yeah, I think you're correct about that.
Okay.
Yeah, they have Toad from the movie.
Nice.
He's in it.
I thought I remember someone talking about Vinnie Jones coming back, but him saying no. Was that for the first Deadpool or? Because we've already seen the Juggernaut, right? So.
Yep. I loved that version of Juggernaut too.
I mean, that was cool.
We're doing multiverses now. You can have more than one Juggernaut fighting each other.
Yeah, any of the Juggernauts.
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
A bitch.
Me too, bitch. And then Warwick, we can have Jordan Grace show up and be like, I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
She is the Juggernaut. That's
she
my
is.
Juggernaut.
Oh,
Hashtag my Juggernaut.
Jordan 2 belts soon to be. Well, by the time this comes out,
this airs, she'll have already both belts.
Yeah,
probably.
exactly.
I don't know.
Jordan Grace is a phenomenal wrestler, and she's.
I got that through context.
Yeah,
and she's about to have 2 belts.
She is, hopefully.
Really keep her pants up.
Well, if we say that she does, that means we have predicted the future.
Oh my God!
Right?
Yes, we are. All right. So, final thoughts first on Deadpool and Wolverine.
I'm very excited. I cannot wait to see it. I've been geeking out over it because when I first heard Hugh Jackman was going to be Wolverine or Logan for the very first movie way back in the black leather day, I was like, he's too tall. But then I saw his portrayal. It's like, never mind. So to have him back and be in the classic costume with Deadpool, I'm just over the moon. I can't wait.
I was actually when they were saying that Wolverine was going to be in this, I was very much on the fence because I loved Logan so much that I was like, I don't know, do we really need Hugh Jackman back? But Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds together are so great that it's made it so good. And then B, putting him in the classic costume, making it different, that's enough to me. I'm like, all right, I'm fully on board. I can't wait to see the movie. I'm very excited about it. So I am glad that they're letting Deadpool be Deadpool in a Disney movie. Like, that's awesome.
Oh, yes.
Rare sign of good choices on their part.
Yeah.
And I mean, Kevin Feige has so much reverence for Logan that I don't think he wanted to tarnish it. So I think Sean Levy would have had to run that by Kevin Feige, right? Like, of course. So for him to make all that work, I think will be so fun. And I know a lot of people are having multiverse fatigue already. But I love a crossover. I love a multiverse.
Yes.
I cannot wait to see how it ties into Loki, because like just having the TVA there can't be all of it. There's got to be more, and there's kind of more teased in those trailers so far. So
and when is it in the TVA? Is
exactly
it because it looks like this is prior to Loki, but before things started to fall apart.
It kind of has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if God Loki is already on the throne, then there's already a bunch of shit going wrong. So
right.
So it'll be interesting. Maybe it's like right after main Loki meets Kid Loki and all them.
Oh sure.
But
I'm just sad we're not going to get Dan Radcliffe as Wolverine, and I'll just say it.
Are you Dan Radcliffe's your pick?
I mean, he's the funniest suggestion I've heard.
Yeah. He
Fair.
could do it though.
And if you're gonna do it in a Deadpool movie, you go for the funniest pick, and
Yeah.
it's Dan Radcliffe.
Yeah.
I'm not going to write it off yet because
No.
we don't know who's playing Patch.
Right.
That's
That's
true.
true.
We did
That
see the
could
back
be.
of Patch in one of the trailers.
I
That
assumed
white
it was
coat,
just gonna
man.
be. Oh, you
Wolverine
bring
and
up
an
a
eye
good
patch,
point.
but maybe it isn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I figured it was going to be Jackman again, just Jackman and on Jackman on Jackman. But
What if it's Rob McElhenney?
Oh my God. He's in the movie. They confirmed in the latest episode of Welcome to Wrexham that Rob has a cameo.
There you go.
But they hinted at him being a TVA agent.
Oh.
So who knows if they're just pulling
They're
our legs?
just lying to us outright. Yeah.
they could
Which
just
is,
be
you know,
lying
They could just be
Yeah.
lying.
about any of it.
I just want all of the TVA agents to be Wrexham players. Just
There you go.
Save
just
a bundle on the film.
exactly. Have Mullen be like one of the dudes who takes their helmets off. Like, that'd be cool. I can't believe I know athletes now because of this show.
That's crazy.
What has Ryan Reynolds done to you?
I know.
Hey, I know a bunch of people that got into wrestling because of Total Divas. So,
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
that's
like,
true.
Yeah, so it works though, man. Sometimes like those reality programs like hook people in. So
The bright side of reality television.
yep.
There had to be one.
Eventually, yeah.
I mean,
Well, we hoped there'd be one.
yes.
Right.
Good news, there was one.
We had to sit through all of that Jersey Shore just to find it.
Yeah.
And however many seasons of Survivor we've been through.
Oh, it's still
God,
on.
like
It's
billions.
still
Still on.
going.
They're
Yeah.
still
It'll
doing The
never end.
Bachelor. Ugh.
Now it's
Yeah.
the Golden Bachelor.
Oh my God.
Mhm.
I know. Stop.
Stop, please.
And
I
we
can't
don't.
decide if that's empowering or like somehow more
And I'm sorry, the Kardashians just need to fall into the ocean and stay.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of the Kardashians.
I like to hope they'd like a moment of peace too.
Right.
But I will
We
give
don't
it to
wanna keep
them
up with
that they used their quote unquote star power to launch their own businesses
Yeah.
that are making money independent of those shows.
Sure.
You know, like the makeup lines, the clothing lines, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're Pauly D, who is a failing DJ, who's just in, you know, like
Pauly DJ.
He just leaned into the bit too hard.
yeah, pretty much. They're going beyond the bit to have a sustainable lifestyle.
Well, what about 1-0 at WrestleMania Snooki, right? Is she?
That's true. She's a New York Times bestseller.
and stuff. Oh, there you go. Good for her.
See,
Just
if she
hope
could
for
do
all
it,
of
so
us.
can you, Warwick.
Yes, thank you. When it doesn't happen, I'll console myself with it.
See, it works either way because, oh, you're not a New York Times bestseller. It's okay. Snooki's a New York Times bestseller. But when you are a bestseller, see, even Snooki is a New York Times bestseller.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, you know,
so
good for
sad.
her. She ghost wrote or had someone write her book. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to start a beef with Snooki.
She got
So
an
sure she
email
is.
with that PDF in it to put her name on it. So
Well,
She
might have
probably
read
at least yeah.
maybe her book's really fun and has lots of twists and is a thriller. I don't know. It's probably a nonfiction, right? I don't know anything about it.
I'm sure it's just I'm Snooki. This is what I think about being Snooki.
do you think she reads the audiobook?
God.
That might be
I
the
hope
only
so.
time she read it.
I hope so.
Or get like, I don't know, get like Morgan Freeman to read it instead.
Hell yeah.
Oh my God.
Someone way too serious. Yes.
That-
Yep.
Dame Judi Dench as
Oh,
Snooki.
Yeah.
Oh my God. If our
only
listeners,
so
by
we can
three
hear Dame
tenants,
Judi
Jim
Dench try to
Pan
say New
Laundry.
Jersey slang.
The listeners are tuning in now. It's like, I thought this was about X-Men.
It was.
What happened?
It was for a while.
Did they just turn the podcast on and then like walked away for like 40 minutes? They come back in. They're like, "Oh, what happened?
What
I missed a lot."
Oh,
As
right.
long
I
as
had this
they're listening,
podcast
I'm not
on.
going to shame that. Yeah.
Yeah, if our listeners, want to keep sending us stuff, please send Ansel the Snooki audiobook.
Yes.
It's got time travel in it. I
The
think.
audio
It's a
Snook,
time
if you
travel
will.
adventure.
Does it? Oh my god.
This ties in perfectly because Snooki is going to be part of the new X-Men team in X-Men 97.
Oh,
Right.
of course, yeah.
The
She
crossover
is,
we've all been waiting for.
What do we
She's
think
the- she's
Snooki's mutant
four. She's
power
four.
is?
Huh?
What do we think Snooki's mutant power is?
Ooh.
Self-tanner.
Yes.
Like she just gets tan on demand.
She gets tan-er.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
She makes other people too tan.
There it is.
Aha! Are you in blackface or not? Nobody can tell now. Better
Oh,
go home and
no.
wash off.
No.
Oh no.
I just publicly shame people into leaving the fight.
She just starts recording them with her phone. Look, this person's canceled.
Yep.
And that's how she defeated Sabretooth.
Yeah.
No, I showed up normally today. I didn't do this. This isn't who I am.
Mr. Sinister is suddenly in blackface.
Oh.
Oh no.
As if Mr.
Oh,
Sinister couldn't get worse.
I mean, he's from the 1800s. You know, Sinister's hella
Yeah.
racist.
Oh,
Oh.
hella.
So
In
racist.
100%.
Yeah.
What other X-Men villains are like just super racist?
I mean, all of them.
They're all homophobic, but which ones are racist?
I'm gonna go outside the box here. The Friends of Humanity, also racist.
Good point.
Very-
Brayden
Yeah,
Creed
yep.
casually uses the N-word. I'm sure of it. Also though, the Nasty Boys, very racist. But I think that's just because they hang out with Sinister a lot. So,
Oh, not
Thank
Hulk
you.
Hogan's friends.
no. Although also them.
Also them, probably.
Specifically them for sure.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Hulk Hogan is an X-Men villain. So
Yeah, I mean, kind of.
the time to party stands is fuck Hulk Hogan because he's a racist.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to...
There is not a bad reason to say fuck Hulk Hogan.
Nope.
Right.
Because there's a lot of good ones.
I didn't mean to speak on behalf of the brand, Ansel, but I figured you'd
that's
sign
good.
off.
I think it's in the brand guidelines.
Oh, perfect.
right with the colors and the font that we definitely have.
It's in the Time to Party manifesto. Fuck Hulk
Time
Hogan.
to say Hulk Hogan.
That's the new hashtag, actually.
Yep.
Well, party people, I think it's safe to say that we are very excited for the next season, potentially next 2 seasons of X-Men 97.
Yes.
Because
6 seasons in a movie.
6 seasons of movie, please. Oh wait, movie. They got a writer for the live action X-Men movie. It was someone interesting, and I don't remember who
Gillian
it was right
Flynn.
now. I thought you were gonna say Gillian Anderson, and I'm like, what? Britta's in
I
this?
would watch her act and everything, but
Wait, why did I say Brit? Gillian
you were
Anderson is in
thinking of
X-Files.
Gillian
yeah,
Jacobs.
she's
We talking about the same Gillian Anderson?
Party people, clearly we are very excited for whatever comes next in X-Men 97. There's totally going to be awesome stuff coming in the next season. Fingers crossed for a 3rd season. But while we wait on that news, you can find us on the internet. I'm at bsilverio20 on Instagram and X and whatever.
I'm at Warwick_Johnson on Instagram.
and I'm at Opera Ghost PTO on Instagram and TikTok.
I am at The Indecisionist on all the meta properties.
You can join in the conversation by using the hashtag time2party. That's time the number 2 party.
As well as time the number 2 party, all spelled out, thanks to Warwick.
And hashtag time the number 2 party, thanks to Warwick.
There we go.
Oh, friends, while you dream of the Deadpool and Wolverine popcorn bucket, use butter or lube.
Always.
B, be excellent to each other.
And party on, dudes!
And don't fuck the bucket too much.